Starship Troopers Extermination Early Access came out on May 18, 2023, and it became one of the most played games on Steam. At the time of this review, SteamCharts.com logged at least 10,000 players currently playing. But with a price tag of $24.99 US dollars or 765 in Philippine peso, is this early access game worth your time and money?
We go live to planet Valaka. Elite deep space Vanguard troopers deploy state-of-the-art subsurface scanners to find the bug hives.
Starship Troopers Extermination is one of those games that is very hard to put down. Being an early access title means it will have some issues. Regardless, the game is able to entertain me for at least 22 hours and counting. In Starship Troopers Extermination, you play as one of the 16 mobile infantry soldiers who fight to defend Earth from, you guessed it, bugs. Your mission is to complete objectives, shut down bug nests, all while trying to survive the harsh environment and the bugs' relentless attacks. In case you didn't know, it is based off the 1997 movie called Starship Troopers, of course, where one of my favorite actor, Neil Patrick Harris, is a part of. There's a lot of movie references here and there, but they serve more as a fan service rather than a deterrent to those who just want to shoot some bugs and call it a day. I have not watched the movie, but it didn't stop me from enjoying this game. For the first 10 hours, the game will remain fresh, for it does have a progression system, allowing you to unlock more equipment and weapons for your chosen class. These classes are the Hunter, which is the mobile class, the Bastion, which is the tank, and the Operator, which is the support class. Each of these classes have their own skill tree, but not all these unlockables are unique to each class. This, of course, may still change since this is still early access. The classes are unique enough that they play differently. Hunters are best when they are traversing through rough terrain and eliminating faraway targets like the Grenadier. They are also the most likely to survive during the extraction. On the other hand, the Bastion can put up short walls around himself, allowing him to tank most enemies while shooting his machine gun. And finally, the Operator, who is arguably the best class right now, as they can provide ammo, heal, and carry objectives with ease, just to name a few. Shooting bugs does feel good. However, because of the servers being located very far from where I am, more on this later, the game doesn't feel as responsive as other shooters I have played. This may matter to you, but to me, since this is not a PvP shooter, I can live with it and still have fun. I also noticed that shooting bugs do not feel natural at times. Maybe it is the lag, but sometimes I would just empty a full clip on a bug and it doesn't feel like the bug is reacting at all. Yes, the devs have promised a feature where targeting specific limbs can affect the bugs, but as of right now, this isn't the case. The game at its state is not the best looking game I have played, but it is not really that important when you have a good gameplay loop. Maybe this is for the best because of the many performance issues you will encounter even in decent hardware. I have tried to run this game at the lowest settings with my 1070 Ti, but it just doesn't give me a stable frame rate. That's why I just opted to lock it at 60 FPS. It is also worth mentioning that I have tried this game on the Steam Deck and it does play at around 30 to 40 FPS. However, just like my PC, it does struggle whenever there are lots of bugs and explosions on screen. The sounds on this game are good enough that it does give you an immersive experience. However, just like in the graphics department, when there's just too much going on, Your ears will be greeted by sounds of large explosions and screaming bugs all playing at the same time, which may be annoying for some, but it didn't really bother me that much. It is also worth mentioning that the game does have an in-game voice chat for local and team, which works well since this game is all about teamwork. At this stage, the game does have enough to keep you entertained for at least 10 hours. My rule of thumb when it comes to paying for games is that if I can watch a movie for 2 to 3 hours and pay this much money, then I should be able to have something close to that whenever I play games. The developers did mention in the early access FAQ that the price will increase once the early access period is done. At around hour 15 of playing the game, I begin to feel the repetitive aspects of the game. One of the few problems that I've encountered is that I didn't feel that the game is difficult enough, but I guess I'm just a glutton for punishment. I was expecting us to fail multiple times because we are not organized, but we always manage to pull through for some reason. The times that the game only felt difficult is when no one is targeting the elite monsters like the Grenadier, which basically bombards your base from a very long range. The game does have two modes currently available, but besides being longer and requires more coordination than the other one, there's really no reason to prefer one over the other because they feel the same. Since this is an early access game, bugs are to be expected both in game and, of course, the actual bugs that are computer related. So far, I haven't encountered a game breaking bug, but I did get into games wherein there were server problems, where everyone was lagging and eventually got booted. I do have to point out that in my 22 hours of playing this game, we have encountered a cheater who was team killing everyone. And unfortunately, there's no way to turn off friendly fire. So what he was doing was he was team killing everyone from a great distance, and even if you're hiding behind terrain, he still managed to shoot all of us. We managed to report this guy, and when the reports were coming in, I guess after 5 minutes of reporting, he was eventually booted out of the game. This is a concern, and hopefully, the developers are keeping an eye on the cheaters because even though this is just a co op game, it's still sad that there will be cheaters. It is really unfair to review a game that is still in early access, but it's also unfair to have to pay to become a beta tester. I believe the best feature of this game is the ability to play with 15 other players and having fun in voice chat. I could hear a lot of players making movie references, which was fun, even though I do not get them at all. However, at its current state, I cannot give this game a solid recommendation. At best, I would recommend it if you are a huge fan of the movie, or if you are like me and you just want to shoot bugs with 15 other people, then this game may be for you. With that said, at its current state, I'll give this game a 6.5 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this review because it really took me hours to make it. If this is your first time in this channel, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing as any form of interaction helps me out a lot. It keeps me motivated in making more of these videos. If you have already done so, then thank you. Okay, so I want to make my review special by having a more personal sharing about this game. First off, I want to say that the developers have not confirmed any servers outside US or Europe. I am playing on the US West server and the delay does feel noticeable. So yeah, there's some outcry from people who do not live in Europe or the United States of America. I hope they do add more servers. Regardless, I'm still excited for the future of this game because unlike other early access titles, this came out in a decent state. This is also the second co-op game that I have played that allows me to shoot bugs. The first one is Deep Rock Galactic, which is something that I've already talked about in one of my videos. So check that one out if you have the time. And also, if you want me to continue making videos about this video game or more reviews, About other video games, please do let me know on the comment section. I still have a lot of things to say about Starship Troopers Extermination. But for now, this has been Pens, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day ahead.